We are back now with the new hope for the millions of people who suffer from Alzheimer's. For the first time, the FDA has granted full approval to a new drug. It's called Leqembi, and it's shown to slow the progression of the disease. And now the FDA says in clinical trials, the drug is shown to slow cognitive decline in people in early stages of the disease by 27% over 18 months. Full approval means that now those with Medicaid and Medicare will be able to have some of the cost of this medication covered. This Alzheimer's Association says around 1 in 10 people aged 65 and older have the disease. ABC News medical contributor and epidemiologist Dr. John Brownstein joining me now for more. Doctor, this is a milestone for the fight against Alzheimer's, right? Offering hope to millions of people suffering from this disease, but it is far from a cure. So just help us understand the benefits of taking this drug. How does it work and how will it improve quality of life?
Well, Alexis, this is phenomenal news. As someone who had 2 grandparents that suffered from this disease, it's a huge milestone in treatment. And it's the first drug really to get full approval to treat the underlying disease rather than the symptoms. And what it does is it targets and clears these beta amyloid plaques, which are these protein fragments that accumulate in the brain. And so by doing so, the drug aims to slow progression of the disease and hopefully provides a slowing of cognitive decline for those in early stage Alzheimer's. So that's a huge deal for those that are suffering in the early parts of this disease. It will preserve cognitive function for many and will allow them to retain a better life for years to come. You know, of course, this doesn't prevent the disease, but it will have life extension properties.
That is just incredible, incredible news. I know the drug is not cheap. It costs more than $26,000 per year. Why is the drug cost so high, and how can it become more accessible?
Right. Well, this is the challenge when you have high costs associated with investments of research and development. You know, there's extensive research, clinical trials, regulatory process. There is a lot of investment that goes into these drugs, and you need cost recovery and profitability. That's part of the business of being a pharmaceutical company. And so we have this challenge. Now, of course, we're going to have payers, insurance, be able to cover this cost. So, you know, the idea is that this won't be this huge financial burden on patients that have coverage. And as you mentioned, we're going to see that continued coverage in Medicare, which will mean that there'll be access for millions of people that prior weren't able to access this drug.
Right. I mean, up until now, as you say, this drug was only available to some patients, but now that it's fully approved by the FDA, how does this change things for people covered by Medicare and Medicaid?
Yeah. So with full approval of Leqembi, Medicare is expected to provide coverage for this drug. Previously, under the accelerated approval, Medicare did not have that coverage. So now as we see, millions could have access. And we know equity is a real challenge, right? There are people that, of course, were not accessing this drug before that will now have access to it. There will be a need for registration of physicians that are going to administer this drug, but it's going to alleviate significant financial burden for so many people.
And with any drug, of course, there are risks associated. What are the possible side effects of taking this drug? And might there be some people out there who would not be candidates to take the drug?
Well, we'll definitely need to weigh the risks and benefits with any drug, absolutely. Now, there is risk of brain swelling, of bleeding, and there are actually specific genetic risk factors. So you definitely have to have a conversation with your provider and get the right testing to make sure that you are right for this drug. There is this black box warning, which is a serious type of warning issued by the FDA. So this is a drug that will come with side effects, of course, with a lot of benefits as well.
And just refresh our memories, tell us what the early signs of Alzheimer's look like.
So I think, you know, of course, the progression of disease looks different for so many. So, of course, these are not, you know, exactly the symptoms for everyone, but you want to look for memory loss, difficulty in problem solving, challenges with executing familiar tasks, confusion with time or place, communication issues or even language issues, and of course, misplacing items or poor judgment. If any of these things start to accumulate, you absolutely want to talk to a doctor.
All right. Dr. John Brownstein, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.